Before we get into the Prime Minister's vision of Canada as an energy superpower, I've got something that I want to show you. So there's this guy, Jeffrey Rath, who went on Fox News to speak on Alberta's independence, and it was painful. We have that clip coming up for you a little bit later on. But right now, to our main event, our main topic today, Mark Carney, our new Prime Minister, sat down with Power Play on CTV and said he wants to make Canada an energy superpower. But the question is Alberta leading that charge in his vision? Spoiler, it doesn't sound like it. And when asked if he reached out to Pierre Poilievre to unify the country, Carney fumbled the football hard. We've got that clip too. Welcome to Unfiltered, where we break down the big moves in Canadian politics without the spin. We're not bought like legacy media. We're not boring, and well, we're just getting started. Hey, if you could do us a favor, help us get to 1,500 subscribers, smash that like button, and let's get right into it. Let's dive into the interview from Power Play on CTV, where the hostess doesn't waste time. She dives straight into Canada's energy future and asks about oil and gas exports.
I want to talk about something a bit more conventional when you talk about big projects, and that is around energy. And in particular, when you said during the campaign you want to make Canada an energy superpower, do you mean you want Canada to export more oil and gas?
Well, that is an element of it, but it's not the element of it.
The Prime Minister's answer shouldn't shock us out west. It's vague and it's polished. It doesn't really say anything about pipelines, energy corridors, or Alberta for that matter. It's like the West doesn't even exist in this superpower.
I talk about being an energy superpower. I always say in both clean and conventional energies. So what does that mean? Yes, it does mean oil and gas. It means using our oil and gas here in Canada to displace imports wherever possible, particularly from the United States. It makes no sense to be sending that money south of the border or across the ocean. But yes, it also means more exports, without question. But
Next question, what does energy superpower actually mean, Prime Minister Carney?
that in and of itself doesn't make us an energy superpower. We can be an energy superpower, and we have all the components in nuclear, in hydro, in potentially in carbon capture and storage, which is going to be one of the determinants of of competitiveness and productivity in a number of sectors.
Look, it's clear now he's talking about climate leadership, carbon credits, and financial tools, not oil rigs, pipelines, or LNG terminals. The Prime Minister's vision of an energy superpower looks a bit different.
If I may, not just because of the record of the previous government, it's because of you yourself, your book Values, for example, which extensively talks about a reorientation of the market around the climate imperative.
And this brings us to Mark Carney's book Values. Let me give you a quick breakdown. This thing is really, I think, the backbone of Carney's policy visions, or at least plays a lot into it. It argues we've prioritized market prices over human value, calls for economies to be built on solidarity, fairness, sustainability, and humility, focuses heavily on the climate crisis and financial regulation. He's not just running a country, he's trying to re-engineer its moral compass, perhaps. Sounds noble, maybe, but where does that leave Alberta in all of this?
The components in, we have to deliver. Let me make another point, because I appreciate that you've read my book very carefully. At the core of the way I talk about the energy transition is the future of, including about Canada being an energy superpower, is the future is low risk. Canada's low risk is a business investment place. Low cost. We're getting the cost down, including the oil sands. The marginal production is low cost, and low carbon. All three of those come together. We have the ingredients of all that. Let's get together and move on it. And it takes more than just one pipeline in order to accomplish.
So the Prime Minister talks about Canada offering three things: low geopolitical risk, low policy risk, and low climate risk. That might sound nice in the boardroom, but in Alberta, we're dealing with emission caps, clean electricity regulations, and the potential death of energy investment certainty. Superpower? Sure. Just not Alberta's superpower. Wrapping up the interview on CTV's Power Play, the hostess wanted to gauge the relationship between the new Prime Minister and Pierre Poilievre. This is what she asked.
to Pierre Poilievre about seeking support from the Conservatives in advancing parts of that agenda?
The Prime Minister's answer caught me a little off guard. All he had to say was no, not yet, but he didn't.
Mr. Poilievre and I spoke after the election, immediately after the election. He congratulated me, and I signaled to him that if he was, as he is, seeking a by-election, I would call it as soon as I'm allowed.
Okay, it's time to scratch that itch, and let's talk about Jeffrey Rath and this clip I found on TikTok from Fox News.
Calling to make Canada the 51st state, and a group in Alberta is apparently on board. Jeffrey Rath is leading that group, a lawyer from Alberta. He has that delegation behind him. Jeff, how big is your delegation? Tell me the feeling you are for joining America.
Hundreds of Albertans that are reaching out and volunteering to join our delegation. Right now, our group is very small. We're, it's a steering committee of people that are looking to come to Washington on an exploratory basis.
Okay, look, this is not how you gain traction. You can't yell over hosts and interrupt every question and absolutely embarrass the movement before it even gets started. If you want to have a serious conversation about Alberta sovereignty outside of Alberta, I think we need some better voices. All right, so where did we land today on Unfiltered? Well, I think Carney wants a moral, climate-driven superpower based on that interview. Us in Alberta, we want energy autonomy, economic strength, and definitely respect. And the opposition federally doesn't even seem like they're being invited to engage in the conversation. So does this sound like leadership or just another version of green finance dressed up as national unity? Let me know in the comments below, are we headed towards energy independence or more federal interference here in Alberta? And if you're from Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, or BC, I especially want to hear from you. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and the notification bell. Let's build something real here. You can always reach out to me by email as well, grassrootsalberta@gmail.com. Thanks for watching and supporting our channel, Unfiltered.